Hello everybody and welcome back to my Final Fantasy VII Let's Play. This is part 24 and in this episode we are going to go after some more enemy skills and a few other miscellaneous items, such as the first summon materia, which we are going to go get very shortly. But as you can see, I did a little bit of grinding and I've got everybody's first level 2 limit break. So in Ares' case it's Breath of Earth, or Breath of the Earth I should say, which is very iffy. It's good if everybody's afflicted with status ailments, but it doesn't really happen often. And Tifa now has an extra slot on her limit break. So yeah, the first thing I'm going to go get is in the next area we're going to. So obviously that's Calm. That's where we've come from. So let me just change the camera angle, and we will be off on our adventure to the Chocobo farm. I just thought maybe about switching teammates, but Tifa and Ares will do fine for now, I think. So yeah, hopefully we'll minimise the amount of fights. This is again, unfortunately, a post-recording commentary, as Audacity and my computer had a few issues and I lost all of the recorded commentary for the last 3 or 4 episodes. So here we are against 3 Calm Fangs. Let's deal with them with our currently only piece of enemy skill, Matra Magic, which, as you've all seen, is extremely overpowered. Now, what I did off camera is something I'll record a little bit of when I get a little bit further in the game, which is I equip the enemy skill to each person to grind their kills, like I said, was really useful during part 22. So yeah, it's definitely a very good idea. Having a few issues with the camera there. Yeah. So this is the Chocobo farm, or it would be if I did get into this fight. So yeah, we're against some emu looking thing and those little things. I can't remember what they're called, Mews maybe? But they have a use. They do have an enemy skill, those little things at the back. I'm just considering whether or not I should kill them, as they're not really using level 4 suicide just yet, which is the enemy skill we need to then go and chain some more enemy skills. As you can see, they are doing a lot of damage. I mean, Ares just took a heavy hit there. He's using sinking. Nope. Oh no, there he is. I thought he'd died. Like suicide move. Now he's dealt with. Hot springs. Now, memory serves, this shouldn't really damage Cloud. In fact, it's healed him. Brilliant. So there we go. That's them dealt with. I will come back and get the enemy skill after I have the first summon materia, which is just in this Chocobo farm. So let me just make sure everybody's alright. It looks so. Yeah, I just edited out a section because I had a few issues with fraps, but yeah, here we are at the Chocobo farm. Let's walk. Oh, I can actually talk to the Chocobo. Walk or walk. Okay. So that was obviously the wrong option to choose. Let's see what happens when I say walk with only one R. Walk. Oh my god, they're dancing. That is cool. And I believe these are actually gold Chocobos as well. They don't, I mean, they look a bit shinier than the normal standard yellow ones, so I think they've got gold Chocobos here, but I don't think we can use them just yet, which is a shame. Very well coordinated, aren't they? Chocobo's Got Talent. Now that definitely should be a YouTube series stream by Square Enix or Enix. And there it is, Chocomog, the first materia, summoning materia even. So let's just have a little look here. So I kind of want to leave Cloud the way he is. Let's see about Tifa and Ares, but I'm going to decide that Cloud doesn't need sense, and I'm going to put on the Choco Mug, which is a wind style materia. I think oh yeah, and I also leveled up all to its 2nd level, and I believe quite a few skills now are also quite close to becoming level 2, giving us Ice, Fire and Lightning 2, or Bolt 2 I should say, and also Cure 2. So now that all's level 2, I can actually use the magic it's paired with on everybody or all enemies twice in one battle. Very, very useful indeed. This is Chocobo. Thinking of crossing the marshes? Yep. Then it'll probably be safer for you to get a Chocobo. That way you can zip through the marshes with the Chocobo. Oh really? It's the only way to avoid being attacked by the Midgar Zolom. Midgar Zolom, you say? It's a serpent-like creature over 30 feet tall. Ooh. It detects the footsteps of anyone in the marshes. And then BAM! It attacks. To avoid that, buy a Chocobo at me and Choco Billy's Chocobo Farm. To purchase a Chocobo, please talk to my grandson. He's in the Chocobo stables at the far right end of the farm. Okay then, so there's a giant serpent that will eat me alive if I try and cross the marshes on foot. So that's quite a scary prospect really, isn't it? So is this little kid here Choco Billy? Indeed it is. Do you want a Chocobo? Yep. Give me one. So yeah, whilst he's mentioning this, my Tekkit series should be uploaded alongside this episode, so please feel free to check that out. I'll probably put a link in maybe the outro or maybe right here. I've undecided yet. So yeah, please give it a watch and tell me what you think. I will of course be continuing these FF7 videos, which is always good. Yeah, so I'm just currently asking Chocobo Billy how we get a Chocobo. So yeah, apparently Chocobos are really cautious and they'll run away. So during battles you need to use greens such as the Gashal green, or Garshile? I've never been able to pronounce it. I always just say eat the green, but apparently they appear only on the claw prints outside. If you don't have a Chocobo lure, they won't come out. They're very cautious. What's a Chocobo lure? It's apparently a materia type. Wow. So, anything else I need to know? Oh, remember, once you get off a Chocobo, it'll escape. Ah, okay, so you only get to keep them for as long as you ride them. So, I'll sell you the lure for 2,000 gil. Yeah, I want to buy it, of course. Oh, you're a cheeky salesman, aren't you? Eh? Right, so for this, annoyingly, you need to spend all your money on the, well, not all of it. You need to buy, like, Mimic Greens for the enemy skill that I'm going to try and aim for in this video. Or one of the, I think, 3 I get in this video, so. What am I doing in the equip menu? It's the wrong one. So let's have a look here. What could I really take off? It's tough choice, but it looks like Ares is probably going to be my Chocobo luring mistress. So yeah, let's just customize my items here. So the Gashal and Mimic Greens are as near to the top as they can be, because the last thing you need is to be halfway through scrolling your list, your items list, and the little blighter running away, which has happened many a time when I've been playing this on the PlayStation 1, so it's always good to learn from your mistakes. So yeah, apparently claw prints, which you can probably see a lot of, so let's just walk around on the grass for a second and see if I can't get a battle first. Oh, I thought you had to walk on the actual patches of grass, maybe because we're near the farm we still get this fight. So yeah, I think I don't think I can actually try and get the enemy skill just yet that I need from a Chocobo, so let's just see if I can't capture one. I mean, I'm probably going to fail, and if I do fail, I will use the Chocobo skill. So, for something that looks like a casual garden weed, it certainly does take a battering, doesn't it? It's like we're cutting it and it's just growing back like in all those adverts. Oh, and he's ran away, so let's just clear out these. There's no point really using the summon on one enemy, it just feels kind of pathetic. But anyway, I'm going to cut out a few little failed battles and attempts here to find the enemy skill that we need. And I'll see you very shortly. Or I think it's around about here somewhere. Yeah, it's here. And we are back, slowly, with the awesome, very slow fade in effect and fade out. And yeah, I'm just about to get to the fight where I believe I get the enemy skill that I need. So, a little bit of walking around on the farmland. Let's see if I cannot find these little things that bury in the ground. I really should have tried to get it when I saw them before I went to the farm. But nope, it's these guys again. Unless it's these guys that use level 4 suicide, in which case I'm sorry I got it wrong. Ares has got a limit break, so let's show that off. Breath of the Earth. Completely pointless at this point because nobody's affected by any status ailments. Except maybe Fury, which is now gone. Let's just use Bolt, see if we can't get rid of these. This isn't the enemy I need. Can you please just flee? Nope. Oh well, free XP and free money. That's the way to look at it. And a fair bit of AP as well. Can't really argue at this sort of early stage. When you think about it, you keep fighting them, and it's going to be about 155 times, but maybe more, but no more than 170. And you could level up the Bolt, Ice and Fire materials by one level. So here's the fight we actually need. This is the little things at the back that will use level 4 suicide, or I hope they will use level 4 suicide, so I don't have to edit much more footage. So he's kicking it off with Sewer, which unfortunately doesn't heal Cloud anymore because I took off whatever it was that was healing him when he took water damage, so that's a pain in the backside. Now here we go, level 4 suicide. As the name sort of states, like you've seen Cloud be affected by it. If you're in a factor of 4, I think, which means if you're level 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, etc. If you're within that sort of limit, it will affect you and cause you to go mini. But it has another effect, which you'll see when I get into a Chocobo fight shortly after this. Now, Cloud's going to be doing 1 damage at this point, so, or I think that's with mini. Nope. He's doing it, but there you go. I just showed you quickly that the top right enemy skill is level 4 suicide, so that's another skill for this game. So yay! Most unenthusiastic celebration I've probably ever done in any of my videos. So yeah, let's just have a look. I must have edited out the bit where I took off enemy skill from him and gave it to someone else. It's just yeah, see, Ares has got it now. And that is because I'm gearing up, I think, at this point to, well, hopefully to get the enemy skill at the end of the video. And I'm not doing a good job of it, I must say. I can't remember, I think I kept in all the footage a bit later on, showing how to set up the last enemy skill. So yeah, let's go get a Chocobo fight, shall we? And I can't remember if I edit this bit out or not, because I think I failed a few times, and due to my own stupidity I kind of rush into this one, I think, and I just kick it off by throwing a Mimic Green at him, which he inevitably gets through. I mean, you've just seen the size of it, right? That's like a pumpkin, right? And he's finished. Jesus Christ, that thing's worse than a seagull. And I know about seagulls. Jesus, those things eat everything. And then I'm going to throw another one at him and just use level 4 suicide. And as you can see, he's already finished it. So I can't remember if you had to wait until he was eating it or hit him before, but of course I made the huge mistake of not using sense on him first, because obviously sense tells you if he's in what level he is or she is, and I just use it again just to clarify that he's definitely not within level 4, factor of 4. Which, yeah, was a pain in the ass, because it meant I had to now run, go buy some more Mimic Greens, and then attempt this all again. So, let's just run back to Chocobilly. Oh, look at those Chocobos. Just walking through each other casually. But I want one. But that's much, much later. So, yeah, I need to buy some more Mimic Greens. I'll just top that up to 5, and let's go back at this, shall we? Yeah, I tend to make a lot of these sorts of mistakes, and my intention was to edit it out, but I also wanted to show you what could happen if you end up really impatient like I was. So here's attempt number 2, and hopefully this will be the one where that Chocobo eats the Gashar Green first, just to keep his attention there, and then I'm going to sense him, so he obviously he's not going to run away now, whilst we sense him. So, as you can see, level 16, 4 times table goes into 16, 4 4s are 16, so yeah, we can officially use level 4 suicide and get this pretty useless enemy skill. But, as the achievements state, you need to get all of the enemy skills, so you can get the Materia achievement. And like I said in the first video, I'm going for all of the achievements. So there's the Mimic Green, and he's taking a longer to eat it, which must mean if they're not level 12, they wolf it down, or in a factor of 4. Sorry. So as you can see, I just did 155 damage, and he's countered with Choco Buckle. And that is one hefty Chocobo. Chocobo. But yeah, and he's left. But we now have the completely useless enemy skill, only known as Chocobuckle. So I'm just going to use Choco Mog. I mean, you thought Kamikaze in Worms was good? You've not seen anything until you've just seen that. But yep, absolutely annihilated him. Well, damn. Now, there is something else that enemy skill, that summon materia can do, and that is an alternate one. And I'm going to try and hopefully get some footage of that, but it should come about as I'm using it throughout the game, so keep an eye out for that. So yeah, I'm now going to edit out the footage and cut to, or fade into, a part where I'm gearing up for the next enemy skill. So I will see you very shortly once again. You can see I'm just saving it to make sure I don't lose any of the progress. And we are slowly coming back from the abyss of the screen. So yeah, I'm gonna go get one of the most notoriously difficult enemy skills, especially at low level. It's not so difficult when you come back and get it when you're high level. But basically what it requires you to do is have a very specific setup and a very specific set of tactics going into this fight. And that is that the person you want to have the enemy skill equipped to, you're also going to want the elemental materia tagged with fire in their armor, which I believe at this point you need a mithril or mithril armlet, because I think it's the only joint slots at this stage. So you want to give it, in this case Ares, elemental and fire tagged together in the armor and the enemy skill. Now you want to also give her sadness, because sadness will halve the damage that she takes, or take off a significant amount of the damage, meaning she'll be able to survive the attack that she's going to learn. Now, one of the greatest things about this enemy skill is if you fail, but you follow the guide right, you won't game over, because the enemy kicks somebody out of the battle, which means if both of the characters in the battle die, you still have one alive, so it can't game over, which means you can just Phoenix down, 10, re-sadness everybody, and get back into the fight. So I'm just going to save it again here. There is something I haven't done in this video, I think, and that has affected the battle speed here. The reason you need to sort of speed up the battle is by speeding it up, the ATB, the active time battle, it quickens how much poison damage you do, because that's of course the other thing I haven't mentioned is the way you damage this is by poisoning it and just focusing on healing everybody. Make sure they all stay alive during this very lengthy, well, possibly lengthy encounter. As you can see, I'm trying to flee here because, again, I'm showing you what it's like when I'm impatient and I didn't quite set up everything right. So, as you can see, he does a lot of damage. I mean, that was just one nibble and 400 odd damage. So, I definitely need to do something about that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to move everybody close in to the name, which changes which row they're in, and the rows they change. The rows do different things. And the other thing I didn't do is what I was telling you about. Now, what you need to do is you need to set the slider to, well, on battle speed, to fast, all the way across to the left, straight to fast, no questions asked. You want to turn ATB to active as well, which means he can attack you and suffer damage even when you're not attacking it. So like in those turns where you're not doing anything, he can still act, kind of like the newer Final Fantasies. So yeah, I'm thinking it's a good idea to use sadness on everyone, resave, and reattempt this whole failure of a situation. So you can see I've just cut to a bit where I've had another attempt in which I actually died because I didn't follow GarlandtheGreat's tutorial video to the letter, if you will. And that is that the first thing you need to do is sense your opponent. The reason is, whilst you're trying to poison it with your second character and trying to keep your third character alive, you need to keep track of its health, because as you'll see now, it has 4,000 health, but when it hits a certain number or below, in several intervals of his health bar, if you will, he does different things, such as if you hit him, I think when he's below 1,500 or 2,000, he stands up, and you need him to stand up, because if he doesn't, for a start, he's not going to kick out the player that attacked him last. And then, if he doesn't kick out the player that attacked him last, I don't think there's any chance he'll counter with beta later on. And not only that, but there will be a few other problems caused, such as if everybody dies, like we all did, we'll hit the game over screen. So that's definitely not good, and we don't want any of those on camera. No. Yeah. Cloud's cover materia kicking in there, and I really should have put a cure all on. That was one of the mistakes I made, is I forgot to put cure all instead of thunder or bolt all. Just top up everybody's life. just going to attack him again, just to try and lower his health down, speed up this whole battle. And the reason I'm doing all this is because the enemy skill he has, Beta, is a freaking extremely useful one. I mean, like, especially during the early parts of the game, it is so powerful. And as you can see, he's now stood up, which means very shortly, as you saw, he's just taking more poison damage, and I'm just waiting for him to take a bit more damage. I'm just gonna get an attack ready with Tifa, and then when he falls within the HP range, I'm gonna let her loose, and at which point he should counter with well, with his tail, I think, forcing out that the player that last attacked. So as you can see, he's taking a little nibble out of Cloud, and I'm going to do it again, and this time, because she's attacked him below 1500 health, yep, here's the camera change, and then smacks her in the face with the tail. Now that is true pimp slapping. And the other thing I should mention is when he does counter with Beta, it attacks all people, and whoever doesn't have elemental and fire pretty much dies at this early stage in the game, even with the extra grinding that I've done off camera. So yep, as you can imagine, slight pain in the backside. So now Ares needs to be the person to attack him when he falls below 500 health preferably, but he's even lower than that now, which isn't good. So I'm going to quickly use Cure on Ares, hopefully she'll get the attack in before. Now he nearly died, which would have really been awkward, but as you can see, below 500 HP he counters with Beta, and yeah, it's basically a nuclear explosion that absolutely annihilated Cloud and Ares, but because of the poison and the active time battle, he then died after launching the attack. So it doesn't really matter if you die, as I say, because Tiff has been knocked out of the battle, so it's not going to game over. But yeah, that was how to obtain 3 enemy skills and the Chocobo materia. So that's definitely going to come in useful, and you will see me use those an awful lot in future videos. Which, as I say, definitely a good one to get. Even if you're playing this game and you're not going for the achievements because you're on the PlayStation 1 version, I highly recommend that you go and get that materia as early as possible, because it will really come in helpful. If it's for grinding, it will be extremely helpful. Matra Magic's a bit better because whilst it doesn't do as much damage, it doesn't have as high MP cost, I believe, which means that you can grind for a little bit longer, so you're using less tents, less in-trips, and of course you're able to just flog it onto the next person when Cloud's MP is drained. But yeah, I'm going to show you in a future video where is the, according to my brother, one of the best places to grind out your their level 2 limits, or I should say the second part of their level limit, which is where you need to get 80 kills with that person to get their next one. So yeah, thank you very much for watching this video. I know it's been kind of long-winded, almost half an hour long, but it definitely shows you several enemy skills and a materia, a summon materia that is very useful. So once again, thank you very much for watching part 24. Part 25 will be out soon. My Tekkit series has just started and it's going to be linked in the outro of this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye for now.